Hey, what's going on everybody? I am Brick and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with a tier list video. We are just nearing the end of chapter 2 season 6 and I thought why not do a little bit of a tier list video. What better time to do a little bit of a tier list video. So we're going to be ranking the Fortnite seasons, season 1 of chapter 1 to season 6 of chapter 2, and we're going to be ranking them from all of these 5 categories. Sorry, I can't count. 6 categories. And so the first category we got is insane, then we got solid, then we got cool, which is like the next level, then we got meh, then we got almost shit, and then we got absolutely f***ing dog shit. The worst f***ing season I've ever played, ever. So those are the categories. Before we get to ranking all of these Fortnite seasons, make sure to smash a like on the video right now, as well as subscribe and use code BrickWxrld in the item shop when purchasing any cosmetic items. But of course, enjoy the video. Alright, so to start things off, we have season 1 of chapter 1, and I'm gonna have to put it under the cool tab. I think that it was a good season. I believe it wasn't the greatest season though, because of the fact that not much happened in it, although it is the start of what we know today, so I gotta give it its respect and credit, so we'll throw it under cool. Next, we got chapter 1, season 2. I would say it's a pretty good season, so I'm gonna put it under the solid tab. That's when the battle passes started being introduced. That's when we started getting more skins being pumped into the item shop. Fortnite started to blow up in this season. It was a good season, but I'm gonna put it under solid, no more, no less, and I think that's what it deserves. Next, we got season 3 of chapter 1. I would definitely say this is a really good season. That's when the battle pass was extended to 100 tiers instead of 70. That's when lots of items were pumped into the item shop. We had lots of game modes coming out, lots of cool moments and stuff happened in that season, and there's meteors at the end of the season. We're moving into season 4, so because of that, I gotta give it to solid. It wasn't insane, but I'm definitely gonna keep it on solid because of the fact that it was a really good season, and that's when Fortnite started blowing up, so we'll keep it there. Next, we got chapter 1 season 4. I would definitely say that this is probably the best season we've ever seen. There was the best battle pass we've ever seen. Playground mode was introduced. We had a live event, new POIs, lots of storyline stuff. There was so much stuff that happened in this season, and that's why I feel like we got to give it to season 4, because of the fact that it was just such a good season in general. There's so many good things about that season. I can go on for hours about why that season was one of the best seasons, if not the best season we've ever had. We're just gonna leave it there and keep it on insane. Next, we got season 5 of chapter 1. I'm also gonna put this in insane because of the fact that Kevin the Cube came, he melted into the lake. It was a pretty insane battle pass. We had Lazy Links and Paradise Palms. We had so many cool things that happened in season 5. A lot of good nostalgic memories from both season 5 and season 4. I feel like that's a lot of the reasons why I'm going to throw it in insane. Next, we got chapter 1 season 6. This one, I'm going to be putting it into solid. I think that was a pretty good season. Lots of cool Halloween vibes. The floating island as well. The floating island making its way around the map. It was a pretty cool season, I'm not going to lie. There was husks introduced in that season, which were annoying, but at the same time, really cool for the Halloween theme. Overall, I feel like this is also a really good season. There was also the Kevin the Cube explosion event, which was pretty lit, I do have to say. It didn't really come out with anything. The cube kind of just exploded. I don't know, we got to see the butterfly and all those cool things, but it didn't really lead to anything. There wasn't an insane amount of storyline stuff, not an insane amount of map changes, so I'm just gonna keep it on solid, but it wasn't bad. Next, we got chapter 1 season 7. I'm definitely gonna throw this under the cool tab. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad season. There was the big ice biome. I'm gonna be honest, that was probably my favorite biome of all time. It was such a cool biome, especially with Christmas, and it was a really good season, I do have to say. Although there was the sword, which was really annoying but also really cool. The freezing of Greasy Grove, one of the best, most loved POIs. Planes were introduced, which weren't that annoying, but at the same time it was pretty annoying when they would just zoom past your builds, because they could break through literally anything, and they had guns, and it was just really broken and overpowered. So I would definitely rate that as cool instead of solid, because there's a few kinks in there. All right, next we got chapter 1 season 8. I'd say this is a really good season, but at the same time it wasn't that insane, so I'm gonna have to put it under cool because not an insane amount happened. We had the explosion of the volcano, we had the unvaulting event, there was some cool storyline stuff. There was not too bad of storyline there where they dug up Loot Lake, and found this giant vault, so that one's pretty cool. There's a lot of different cool things that happened. We had the banana skin added. We had the conga emote, which was a cool one. One of the first traversal emotes. We had, traversal emotes added that season. There's a bunch of cool things, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that it's good enough to be in the solid tab, so I'm gonna keep it in cool. In Season 8, there was also a bunch of cool POIs and stuff added. Yeah, like the volcano and Sunny Steps and just that whole jungle biome. I like how in Chapter 1, they added massive biomes to the map a lot of the time, and that was one of my favorite things about Chapter 1. So that's why I'm gonna throw it under the cool tab. Next, we got Season 9 of Chapter 1, which is a good season, so I'm gonna keep it under cool. It wasn't bad, but it was also kind of scuffed at the same time. The battle pass was a really bad battle pass. We had the cool monster versus mech event, that was cool. Neo Tilted, Mega Mall, those were cool. The slipstreams, really good mobility item. I loved those. There's a lot of cool things that happened in Season 9, but nothing to make it in the solid tab, so yeah. But next we got Season X. I would definitely say that this was a meh season. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't insane. There were so many weird things. Moisty Mire, you would go there, well, it was called Moisty Pond. You would become a prop if you crouch. You would dance at Taco Town, which was Greasy Grub, every like minute or something. Tilted Town was there. It was cool, but at the same time, it was also really scuffed. So I'm gonna throw it under meh. Also, the mechs were there, and it was kind of really annoying. It was probably one of the worst things they'd ever added with the brutes. And the battle pass wasn't bad, but it was also kind of scuffed. It was cool that they reflected upon the whole chapter by, you know, taking little bits and pieces from each season and throwing it all together, almost like a collage at the end of the season. I really like that though, so I hope they do that again for the end of Chapter 2. Next, we had Season 11, or Chapter 2, Season 1. It wasn't a bad season, but at the same time, I think I'm gonna give it to the cool season, because it was cool that we got a new map. We had fishing, we had swimming, there was not too bad of a battle pass. We had Ego versus Alter, and lots of cool different things that were added. We had pretty much a whole new loot pool. Now, that's why I would say cool, but it wouldn't be insane or solid. So yeah, we're gonna keep it there. Next, we had Chapter 2, Season 2. Probably the best season we've ever seen as well. I would say these are all tied for the best season ever. Chapter 2, Season 2 brought a lot of seasonally mythics. I don't know if seasonally is a word. They started bringing lots of cool different mythics out each season, and that's what started it. They had Ghost versus Shadow, lots of cool battle pass skins, and lots of cool mechanics. They had boxes, they had henchmen added, helicopters added. There were so many cool things in Chapter 2, Season 2. There was a lot of storyline stuff, the events, and so definitely gonna throw it under insane. Next, we got Chapter 2, Season 3. I'm gonna say that this is a pretty good season, so I'm gonna throw it under solid. I love that they flooded the map right after the device events. Then everything was either flooded or insured by No Sweat Insurance. I thought it was really cool because there was houses on top of rafts, and there was rafts and stuff, and there's cool boats and stuff, and it was just a lot of cool stuff, a lot of storyline stuff as well, a lot of summerly vibes, a lot of cool mythics, and I just think that that was a really good season. Not as insane as it could be, so it could have been insane, but I feel like just the fact that we didn't really get a live event that season. There was some storyline stuff, but there was an insane amount. Not a lot of map changes, because a lot of the map changes that happened in the season, they kind of just didn't keep any of them. I feel like that is one of the seasons that isn't the most insane, but could have been if they just made that little bit of extra change to it. So that's why I'm going to be keeping it under the solid tab. Next, we got the Season 4 of Chapter 2. I would say that this one was a little bit of a meh. It was a good season, don't get me wrong. We're actually gonna throw that under cool, although none of the map changes stick. Every single map change, they just plopped on the map and then sent it away after the season was done, which that's one of the things that I hate most. There was really cool battle pass, Tony Stark, there was Mystique, which is a really cool skin with a cool emote, and I just think overall that was such a good season. But at the same time, none of the map changes stuck, nowhere near as good as it could have been if they just, you know, added some more storyline stuff. The event was cool, they just didn't have much storyline stuff. It was pretty much dry for the whole season, which that's what I'm gonna throw under cool. Next, we got Chapter 2, Season 5. I'm definitely gonna throw that under almost. It was pretty bad. The battle pass was cool. Tier 100, the Menace skin was underwhelming. A lot of the skins were kind of eh. We had Mancake, which was cool, but Mandalorian was one of my favorite skins in that battle pass. Star Wars fan, and I really like that, but there's barely any storyline stuff. Every map change they had in that season, they fully removed, which just made it even worse. And there's just so many things that they did wrong in this season, and they just didn't update their game much, so I feel like we're just gonna keep that where it is. And lastly, we got Chapter 2, Season 6. I would say it was a really bad season. This whole slot is reserved for only one season, and that's Chapter 2, Season 6. It's the most f***ing dog season I've ever played. Worst season of Fortnite ever. And I'm gonna list the following reasons. There's so many reasons why this season was so bad, but I'm just gonna briefly summarize the worst things about this season. If you guys would like to see a video about why certain seasons were good and why certain seasons were bad, I might do a video like that. But yeah, let's get on to why this season was such a bad season. So to start things off, we had primal weapons. We had primal shotgun, primal AR, and primal SMG. Really bad items. The primal SMG and the primal AR weren't bad, but they're so spammy, and Fortnite pretty much just added these weapons, and now everybody just spams. I don't understand why they put such bad spammy items in the game. If you want people to be attracted to the game, make them learn how to play the game as a skilled player from the beginning, instead of getting them to use garbage, awful, spammy weapons from the get-go, because then they're just gonna continuously use them and never learn how to get good, because those are the only weapons that were in the game that they can use, really, because it's just so annoying. Why do you put such bad weapons in the game and expect people to want to continue playing? Next, we had the makeshift items. Don't even get me started on those. The makeshift weapons were so bad. Worst weapons we've ever seen. I'm gonna say the makeshift items were awful. Makeshift shotgun, makeshift AR, makeshift SMG, and makeshift pistol, so awful items. Don't even get me started on those. Also, the primal pistol, we're not even going to start about that. That's literally the worst gun we've ever seen. Next, we got the recycler. Really bad item. One of the worst weapons. Not the worst. Cool concept. Really bad though. The mythics this season. Really awful. We had primal shotgun at the beginning. Then they switched it to a recycler, and then they switched it to a bow that is pretty much impossible to get and does the exact same damage as the legendary one, which has a higher chance of spawning. The battle pass was alright. We had Agent Jones, Raz, Rebirth Raven, Tyranno weren't bad. The tier 100 was really awful. Dinosaurs, wolves, boars, and chickens, really awful. I'd say the chickens and the boars are okay, but the raptors and the wolves were such awful items, bro. Like, I don't understand what Epic Games employee threw these in the game, bro. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hate on Epic. It's just like, it's such a bad season. Also, the fact that they pretty much removed every single POI from the previous season, and I hate when they do that, because they make changes to the map and then they just disappear. What happened to the sand? I don't know. No one knows. What happened to any of the map changes that were in the previous season? No one knows. The few things that were good about this season were creative mode. They added a lot of items to creative. They went from the old drivers to the newer drivers for the creative engine, and they were now able to add helicopters and boats and surfboards now, and just so many insane items. That was one of the good things that they did about this season. I hope the next season is better. Chapter 2, Season 7. It's supposed to be aliens. We haven't really seen yet as the time of recording this. It's like about 6 days or so left of the season, so I can't wait. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to smash a like as well as subscribe, and tell me in the comment section what your favorite season is of Fortnite, and let me know if you guys would have changed the tier list up depending on your preferences. Also, make sure to use code BrickWxrld in the Fortnite item shop, as well as hitting up all the socials. Links to all are in the description. But of course, peace out and stay healthy, everyone.